Good morning students. Today we are going to learn about resistivity of various materials. Materials they have different resistivity value. That means in the increasing order of resistivity we can classify materials. So they are conductors, semiconductors and insulators in the increasing order of resistivity. Means for conductors resistivity is less, for semi it will be more than this, and for insulators resistivity is extreme. So for conductors resistivity less means they resist resist less for the flow of current. That's why they are conductors. They conduct electricity easily. So for our needs we use different types of resistors. That means we need different value of resistors for different purposes. So different resistors are available in the market. They are wire bound resistors. So how they made? Winding metal wire over ceramic material. Next is metal film resistor. They are made from metal oxide. Third one is thick film, thin film resistors. These are made by spreading resistive material over insulating substrate. And fourth one is carbon resistor. Carbon resistors they are made by carbon clay and they are very compact, they are lightweight, little bit expensive, but they are extensively used because of their compact nature, lightweight, and they are lightweight also. And next one is variable resistor. Example is potentiometer. That in this type we can vary the resistance value according to our needs. And next one is special resistors. That means their resistance value varies according to temperature and light. That means their resistance value depends upon temperature and light. They are temperature and light dependent. And the resistance value we should know for using these type of resistors. So according to our needs, different resistors we need having different values. So on some resistors it's written, but some resistors they are very small, there is no space to write, and the usually color codes are used to find out the value of resistance. So especially in metal film resistors, thick film, thin film resistors, color codes are used to find out the value of resistance. And usually the resistor is seen like this, that is different bands will be there on this resistor. See here, four bands are there. This is the first one, second band, third band, and this is the last band, fourth band. And these bands consist of different colors. These, and what are the colors for these bands? That may be black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, grey and white. So it is little bit difficult to remember all this. That's why a simple trick we will use for remembering these color codes. So first one, see, if it is like this, B.B. Roy, Great Britain, very good wife. That is first letter is B, B, Roy. And for Great G, Britain, B, very means V, good, G and wife. W is the first letter. So according to this, that is, once again I will tell, B.B. Roy, Great Britain has very good wife. So first one is B, that is, it is black, it starts from black. Okay, and this one, these are the significant figures. Significant figures means the value of resistance. These first two band represent two significant figures. Means if the first two bands are brown, suppose, so the value will be 1. Next you will write 1, so that it will be 11. If the first two bands are red and red, it will be 2, again 2. Significant figure is 2. So first 2, if it is red, then it will be 2, 2 means 22. And the third band represents decimal multiplier. Means we should write in terms of 10 raised to x, where x is the significant figure. For example, if third one is decimal multiplier, means if the third one is red, so decimal multiplier will be 10 to the power, for red it is 2, so we will write 10 raised to 2. And this last one, it represents the tolerance value. Tolerance means how much this resistance value varies according to temperature, etc. So this tolerance value usually can be 5 plus or minus 5%. That means variation of the resistance can be plus or minus 5%, 10% or 20%. And this fourth band, that represents tolerance value. This fourth band can have colors gold, silver, sometimes no color at all. If the fourth band is having golden color, then it will be tolerance value, we can say plus or minus 5%. Similarly, if the fourth band is having silver color, we can say tolerance value plus or minus 10%. Variation of resistance 10%. Then if it is with no color, then tolerance is plus or minus 20%. Like that we can calculate the resistance. So once again I'll tell, the first two bands represent significant figures, that is these numbers. Suppose if the first two bands are yellow, so the value will be 4, 4, that is 44. And the third band, if it is this, after yellow it is green, if it is green it will be 10 raised to 5. So 2 yellow, after if it comes green, 44 into 10 raised to 5, like that. Okay, I will show one example for you. See, consider this as a resistor having, this is the first band, second band and third band, this is the last band, fourth band. See, all are red. So from this, for red the significant figure is 2. So first value is 2, second value again red 2, then third, how we will represent, as decimal multiplier. So decimal multiplier means into 10 raised to, again it is red, red means 2, 10 to the power of 2. This one, since it is red, it is 2. If it is orange, it will be 3. If it is yellow, it will be 4, like that. And last one is silver color. So here the fourth band is having silver color, that means its tolerance is plus or minus 10%. So this is the resistance value we can calculate using these color codes. That is first two, that is 2 are red, red means 2, again 2, 22 into third one red, so into 10 to the power of For red again 2, so 10 to the power of 2 ohm with tolerance plus or minus 10 percentage. That's because of silver color. Now let us learn about the temperature dependence of resistivity. So this resistivity depends upon temperature. As the temperature varies, resistivity of the material also varies. The equation relating the resistivity with temperature is this one. Rho T is equal to rho 0 into 1 plus alpha into T minus T0. This is the equation. So where rho T is resistivity at temperature T, resistivity of a material at temperature T, and rho 0 resistivity of the material at reference temperature. What temperature we are taking as reference, that is resistivity of the material at reference temperature T0, and alpha temperature is called temperature coefficient of resistivity. And here, so usually this equation we are using for metallic conductors. Okay, now let us discuss about the variation of resistivity according to temperature. So for different materials, resistivity, they are different. So let us consider for metals how the resistivity varies according to temperature, for alloys how the resistivity varies, and for semiconductors how it varies. First let us discuss about metals. Example, copper is a metal. So here see this resistivity along y direction, temperature along x direction. So what we can see here, see a sharp increase in resistivity in this one. It's not a slow increase, it's a sharp increase. So what does it mean? Means we already know that rho is equal to m by n e square tau, where m is the mass of electron, charge carrier, n number density, e charge of the electron, tau relaxation time, means time between successive collisions of electrons. So here see in this graph, see rho t increases with temperature. For metals, how it happens, see this relaxation time decreases with temperature. So as relaxation time decreases, see rho is in inverse proportion. See rho is proportional to 1 by tau. That means if relaxation time decreases, what happens? Resistivity increases. Relaxation time means average time between successive collision. So when relaxation time decreases, means collision time decrease, so many collisions happen there, and in this condition resistivity increases because they are in inverse proportions. And now here see alloy, example nichrome. It's an alloy of nickel, iron, chromium. Here what happens, see this is resistivity along y and temperature along x direction. See here the change is very little, slowly it is increasing, not like this, not sharply. It is rho t changes very little with temperature. And let us discuss about the third case, that is how the resistivity varies for semiconductors. See semiconductors, rho t decreases with temperature. As the temperature increases along x direction, the rho t value decreases. That is, when temperature increases, the semiconductors resistivity value decreases. See rho t decreases with the temperature. Again, if we consider this equation, rho is equal to m by n e square tau. Here n means number density, number of electrons per unit volume. So if when n increases with temperature, see, if n increases, what happens? Rho and n are in inverse proportion. So as n increases, that is number of electrons increases, free electrons increases with temperature. What happens? As temperature increases, number of electrons increases. So when number of electrons increases means rho value decreases because they are in inverse proportion. See, rho is proportional to 1 by n. So when n increases for semiconductors, this rho decreases. And here again, tau value, that is relaxation time according to temperature, decreases, but this n value can compensate this decrease. That means this will overcome this decrease, this n value can. That's why even though tau value decreases due to the increase in number of electrons n, the rho value of this semiconductor decreases according to temperature. As the temperature increases, rho value decreases because this n value increases with the temperature, and it can compensate the variation in tau. And now let us discuss about the limitations of Ohm's law. We know by Ohm's law V is equal to IR, that is voltage equal to current into resistance. So by this equation we can say voltage varies according to current, or current and voltage, they are in proportion. They means vary constant with time. See, variation is constant, or the slope, it will be a straight line if it obeys Ohm's law. But actually for a good conductor, this VI graph is not a straight line. That means variations are there in this VI graph. See the deviation here, it's not along the straight line. That means good conductor means it will have resistance. Or if we consider a circuit with linear electrical elements, nothing, these linear electrical elements means nothing but resistors and capacitors. If a circuit contains resistors or capacitors, V and I won't be constant. This V and I variation, that won't be constant with time. See, it won't be constant with time. So it's not constant means deviation is there. That means we can't apply Ohm's law for a good conductor. This is one of the limitation. So it is difficult to use Ohm's law for a good conductor. Now let us discuss about a diode. See, for a diode we are drawing voltage along x direction, current along y. This is the positive I direction, this is the negative I direction. So here if we consider the positive I direction, here see the variation of voltage, it's again not a constant. See, in this negative direction, lower part, that again it's not a constant. See, variation is there. So that means here also VI, variation of VI, they are not constant, deviation is there. That means for diode also we can't use Ohm's law. See, Ohm's law cannot apply for diode transistors. Okay, these are called non-linear elements, diodes, transistors, etc., which do not have same voltage current relation for both directions of current. See, voltage current relation is not same. they are different. So we can say we can't apply Ohm's law for a diode because Vi, the variation of Vi is not constant. You can't get a straight line graph. And let us, if we consider a transistor like a gallium arsenide transistor, here also if we draw a Vi graph, see, if it obeys Ohm's law, we should get straight line, but in actual case you will not get a straight line. Variation, see, it deviates from the straight line. See, no, first it will be linear, but again varies, deviates. This is the non-linear region, it's not linear. Then again it decreases, negative resistance region. And see, here Vi is not constant. See, it's not constant. You won't get a straight line graph here. So here also deviation of Vi graph is there, that is you won't get a straight line. So we can't apply Ohm's law here for transistor also. So these are the limitations of Ohm's law. That is, we can't apply Ohm's law for good conductors, for a diode, and for transistor like gallium arsenide. So let us we will discuss next about this one, electrical energy and power, in our next session.